And good morning, it's Lupe, Classic Hits, 92.7, 95.3. Joining us in the Street Beat studio, Barbara Barnett, Executive Director of Downeast Hospice Volunteers of Washington County. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So let's go ahead and get into it. What is a hospice volunteer?
Well, I'd like to tell the community that the volunteers are anyone who's out there listening to this station right now. Anyone can do this. Volunteers are compassionate companions. They spend time with a client who is gravely ill. That doesn't mean all the clients are bedbound either. I mean, you can take clients for a ride, walk with them in their garden, help them bake a cake. But volunteers are community members who have, and I know you all have, at least 2 hours a week you can spare. Everyone has 2 hours a week they can spare.
So, what inspired you to get involved with Downey's Hospice Volunteers?
I had a very dear friend about 35, maybe longer, years ago in New York who was in hospice care for 3 months, and I spent time with her during that time, the whole 3 months basically. And I really saw how important her volunteers were and how they supported her, her husband. She had two young children in grammar school, and came home to Washington County and looked around for an organization and joined Downey's Hospice Volunteers over 35 years ago and
Wow.
became a volunteer.
And they've been around how many years? 44?
44 years.
44 years, wow. So, tell us a little bit about what a typical visit for a volunteer might look like.
Well, we go to try to give respite for caregivers and family members, and that would mean that they could take a break while you're with the client. We call them clients because we're not nurses, so that we don't call them patients. But we provide services for anyone in the community that needs us, and we're free. And a typical visit would be you might watch their favorite TV programs, you might play cards with them. A lot of people like to play cribbage. I don't know how to play cribbage. I'd
I
love
don't
to
either.
learn. But just keeping company with them with whatever they're interested in. If the client is sleepy and wants to just rest while you're there, we read books. We keep ourselves busy. Some of my clients bring their knitting with them, their iPads, and just keep busy. But it's company, just someone to sit with them and spend time with them while a caregiver can get out in a garden, go to a doctor's appointment, attend a grandchild's basketball game, go to church services, just so they're not alone.
Can you share a memorable experience that you've had while volunteering?
Absolutely. And it will go back to the friend that I was involved with quite a while ago. And this has happened here also in Washington County. She wrote letters for her children of all of their life landmarks. She had letters for them when they graduated from school, when they got their first job, if they went to college, if they got engaged, got married. Her husband kept these letters in a safe deposit box, and they were handed these letters at all of these landmarks, the last one being when they had their first child. We have helped people write letters, and sometimes it's just Christmas cards. I shouldn't say just, everything is important.
Yeah.
But they wanted handwritten Christmas cards, and they couldn't write. And so they dictated, and they picked out their cards, and the volunteer wrote all their
nice.
cards for them, put the stamps on, while the client was there helping. So that's one of the little things, one of the things we can do for people.
And you made it through that question without tearing up.
Well, the last time I did, yeah.
So, what kind of training is necessary to be a Downey's Hospice volunteer?
The training is mandatory because we are state licensed. So it's a 25-hour training. I do break it up into 5 days, and I try to get everyone out. I say 10 to 3. I hope that everyone can get out by 2 o'clock. And we actually have a lot of fun. There are mandatory topics that we have to cover, and I'd like to name just a few of them. Some of them are personal grief and loss. People get a chance, if they want to share stories about their own losses. Family dynamics, we all know what that means. We all have families. stress management for both the volunteer and for the people they're caring for, spirituality, organ donation, funerals, ethical issues at end of life, and many, many more interesting topics. We actually have a lot of fun.
Let's talk about what kind of support do volunteers get from the organization?
I am always available. They have contact with me. Volunteers can also, they get to know each other really well during the training. So they can also talk to each other. Confidentiality is the most important, one of the most important words in our organization. Even if volunteers talk to each other about a situation, they cannot say who the client is, they cannot say where the client lives, but they can talk about what they're feeling so that they can go back to that home or wherever the client resides. By the way, we visit clients wherever they are, in the nursing homes, the boarding homes, the main veterans homes, the assisted livings, the hospitals, and wherever their home. And some people, their home is their daughter's home, their best friend's home. We really meet amazing people, and I recently went down a road in Washington County. I've lived here for almost 45 years, and I drove down this beautiful place that I had never been to before.
So it's a good experience driving around.
It is a beautiful experience driving around this county.
Yeah. How has volunteering with hospice impacted your perspective on life and death?
Personally,
Yes.
I realize that having a hospice volunteer, and I hope someday I have one, because people have told us it makes them feel safer because they can tell us anything they want to talk about and it doesn't go any further. It makes them feel more cared for and less alone.
Is there anything else you want to add?
I would like to add that we need both men and women. There's no special background for this training. You do have to have your own vehicle, and if you're traveling kind of a distance from wherever you are to the training, we can provide gas cards. We also try to provide gas cards for all of our volunteers that are traveling more than half an hour each way, because it's a big county.
Yeah.
And there's long distances. And I really hope everyone who's listening out there, I would never put you in a situation that you're uncomfortable with. You are volunteers. You get to choose your time and place. And I know you all have 2 hours to spare for us. Join the team. You'll have a lot of fun. It's a great organization.
And what's the best place to get more information on Downeast Hospice volunteers?
Go to our website at downeasthospicevolunteers.org. You can download an application. Call us at 454-7521, extension 9126, or email us at downeasthospice@yahoo.com. Or call me, Barbara Barnett, at 726-5087, and I'll answer all your questions and address your concerns.
And you have a Facebook page also?
We have a Facebook
Okay.
page, yes, thank you.
All right. So are you going to talk about the dates and coming up?
The dates are April 10th, 11th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. Flexibility is important because 1 or 2 of those days could always get changed. But those are the dates right now that we're planning on for sure. And it's at Downeast Community Hospital in the McBride building. And I would give you details, instructions about getting there, and very informal. It's not set up like a formal classroom. Wear comfortable clothes. Again, I will reiterate, we have a lot of fun.
All right. And go ahead and give us that phone number one more time.
The phone number is 454-7521, extension 9126, and my number, 207-726-5087. Make someone smile. Become a hospice volunteer. I know that you can spend 2 hours with someone once a week. Every person that's hearing this message can do that. Come on board.
All right. Barbara Barnett, Executive Director of Downeast Hospice Volunteers of Washington County. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.